Welcome to Security Systems International Limited. We are one of the best alarm system companies in Kenya and East Africa that offers sales, supply and installation of security alarm systems. From Security Systems International Limited, SSIL, we bring to you the anti-theft foggy system. This is one of a kind, for it is ideal for protection against theft and intrusion. The fog system releases in 0.1 seconds and projects security smoke over 6 meters in just 2 seconds. We have Foggy 30 and Foggy 50. For more information, call us on 0727 700 939. Security Systems International Limited. Affordable, reliable security partner.
Well, this is Goodwill TV. Welcome back, and you are watching a program that brings you what is news and what is new to you from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Remember, I had promised you that we shall be joined. Our guest today, Mr. David Kariuki from Security Systems International Limited. And last week we spoke, or we discussed, or we engaged Mr. Kariuki on why security. And we discussed in depth about security. And now Mr. Kariuki is here to take us through some of the security systems he mentioned. And today he will be discussing about how CCTV systems work. Mr. Kariuki, karibu.
Asante sana, Mr. Rene.
Yes.
Thank you so much, and good morning.
Good morning too.
Thank you. Pleasure being back here.
Yes.
So that we can continue empowering and equipping our viewers.
Yes.
Letting them know what security systems are there in the market.
Yes.
And I'm glad today that we are starting with a very critical security system.
Yes.
That is CCTV that can really be able to add value to many of our day-to-day activities.
Right.
Yes.
Mr. Kariuki, before you get into that, how was your weekend, by the way?
My weekend was okay, and I thank God for another opportunity to come back to Goodwill TV. Thanking also the management of this station.
Yes.
And you, Lenny, even for giving me this opportunity.
Yes.
So that we can let people out there know what they need to consider when it concerns their security. Because as we said last week, security is not a luxury, it is a necessity.
Security is not a luxury, is a necessity. That's a good one. And Mr. Kariuki, now, you've mentioned about security. How is our security? Because today's paper, Daily Nation, is talking about a person arrested by police, but who ran away from police in Muthaiga police station. Now, another story whereby now a family is grieving after a boy was crushed by a bus in tragedy. That takes me to CCTV. If these two institutions, the Kenya Police at Muthaiga Station and this school where the bus crashed the boy, had CCTV, our work would have been easier to establish what happened. Just mention a little bit briefly about that.
Thank you, Lenny. And I think that is why we are here, to expound on some of these things. Even though they are very unfortunate experiences.
Yes.
Family losing a loved one, a young person. The other one, the police looking for a fugitive who was there, and they can't trace how he left. And that's why I believe CCTV is a very key component when it comes to security systems. Because as we are saying, if the police station had a CCTV system, we could have easily known who came in, how the prisoner was able to walk out of a police station.
Yes.
And definitely it would have maybe made who maybe the vehicle that carried him.
Yes.
Because I believe he didn't just go on foot.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody was waiting. And this would have made things easier.
Yes.
The same case with the school. Because now the family would be demanding, we can see there is a CCTV system in this school.
Yes.
Can we be able to view the images of that day, what really happened?
Yes.
And I think going forward, these are some of the considerations. Maybe even as a country, we should be able to consider.
True.
Because it will help us solve some of those mysteries and also make people now know that you are being watched. And I think that is one great advantage developed countries are able to utilize to resolve their security challenges and even to deter people to commit crime or to commit things that they know they will be watched. Case to consider, countries like China, businesses are mandatory to have CCTV, especially outside, so that in case there is an incident, the police department can be able to come in and check what really happened, which will now help them to resolve the issues very quickly. The same case when things like fire happen. Some countries demand that premises, all their public areas, they should have CCTV that are accessible to the security agencies or to disaster management agencies, so that, for example, if there was a fire, even before the fire department comes, they can plug into that building and be able to watch and see how they'll approach the process of now putting out the fire.
Yes. Now, Mr. Kariuki, what is this CCTV system we are talking, and what you can also tell us what its purpose now?
CCTV, we say, is a type of surveillance consisting of cameras which transmits video signals to a set of specific recording machines, to a specific set of monitors, so that you can be able to view for the purpose of security or just productivity in case of your work areas.
And now, I believe what they are called as closed circuit television. The circuit is closed. Now,
the circuit is closed because we call it closed circuit because it's just for a set system. So the cameras are just going to directly to a set recorder, not just any recorder. Like now, here we are on a TV, but this TV is being watched all over.
It's not closed. It doesn't have
closed.
Yes.
That's why now when it comes to security, because it's closed, purpose is for that premises or that business or that building. That's why it's a closed television system.
That's why I was going to another question now. If it's a closed circuit, what are now the main components of this CCTV?
Thank you, Lenny. The main components of a CCTV system, first of all, is the camera. The camera is the one that will give you the images. So that is a very critical part of the CCTV. Then definitely we either have wires to transmit that signal. Or in case now, because of technology, you can also transmit them wirelessly, either through the Wi-Fi, through the fiber, and a lot of other things. We also have the recorders, where the signal will be recorded for future references, in case you want to review what was really happening to the area. We have monitors that will be used now to display the signal, in case maybe you want to play back the signal, or maybe you want to monitor in case of public buildings, supermarkets and workplaces. And basically, we can say that is it. There are other things like peripherals, like cables, yes, power supplies, connectors, but those are small components to make the system work.
Yes. Now, you have your CCTV camera now, Mr. Kariuki. What are now the key areas when choosing the right CCTV camera? Because there are many.
Yes, the right CCTV system is very, very critical.
Yes.
Because you can have a system and the system doesn't serve the purpose. One of the key areas when choosing the right CCTV, you need to access the security needs of that place.
Yes.
And what do I mean by that? Before you put in a CCTV, it's always advisable to have a security audit.
Yes.
So that the person who will install that system will be able to see the angles that the cameras should do, the ranges the cameras should do. Remember last time we talked that the camera, the way the images will be at night will be different from the images during the day.
Yes.
Because during the night, the camera is limited by something we call infrared range. So if you put a small camera with a small infrared range and maybe you wanted to watch a bigger space, then definitely you will not have that issue. So accessing or auditing the place, doing a survey is a very, very critical part of it. You also need to consider the environment where you are going to deploy that camera. Is it indoor? Is it outdoor? Because there are cameras that if you deploy them outdoor, definitely you will have trouble because they are not for that environment.
Yes.
So that's another critical area. The other thing is with technology now, is it possible to integrate that camera with other systems?
Yes.
Like fire, like alarm systems, like access control systems.
But how does that work, Mr. Kari? Or how is that done?
We have cameras that can be able to detect fire.
Yes.
Yes, the camera can be able to detect fire and send out signal.
Yes.
Which will either be sent to a monitoring company or maybe to the fire brigade. We also have cameras that once they detect, for example, there is a fire, they can tell the access control system, open all doors so that now people can be able to exit quickly without any hindrances. We have cameras that can be able to be connected to alarm systems for the same purpose.
Yeah.
That it will capture the image of what happened, if it's an intrusion or an intruder who has come in, or if it's a fire system. And you can even use that signal to transmit to monitoring companies. The technology now has really come up.
Yes.
And even to your phone. It can even send you to your phone and alert you something is not happening in your premises.
Yes.
It can also be used. We have areas whereby, for example, things like banks, they are very sensitive.
Yes.
And sometimes people will disable the camera, maybe to come to do other things at night. So we have integration that maybe if that camera is disconnected, it can alert the security manager immediately. So that camera has a problem, and you'll be able to arrest that before whoever wanted to do whatever has come to do it. So integration is a very key component when it comes to choosing the right CCTV to buy.
Mr. Kariki, just to take you back, a little back on what you spoke about or you said about it's mandatory in China or institutions to have CCTV cameras. What hinders also Kenyan government to make it mandatory in all its institutions?
Several factors. Because one thing, our country economically is not that much empowered. The advantage of the countries like China, they are the manufacturers.
Yes.
So even the cost of cameras is really affordable.
It's affordable.
Very affordable. Because they don't need to import. So some of the costs won't be passed to the end user. And also now the government encourages people, because it will also be of good help to them. Anything happening, they can be able to also pray back and see what really happened.
Yes.
whether it's through for their customers, which now puts more confidence in those businesses. So I believe the biggest deterrent is economic, but I think with the time and encouragement, that can be done. I remember one time the former Machakos governor, current CS, Alfred Mutua, encouraged businesses in Machakos to do the same. So you can see there are people who know this is one of the key areas that we need to consider, and I hope maybe going forward. Like now, the government, the Ministry of Tourism, has said all people with Airbnb to do CCTV mandatory because of what happened. So you can see that's a very good area, and I think even encouraging people to do that will create more employment, will create more taxes for the government, and I think it's something that needs to be encouraged.
It's like a coincidence to the CS. He just he's in a ministry that requires all that kind of security.
Yes, yes.
Now we have now our cameras. We can install our cameras, and so as we can enhance our security. You just don't go and buy a CCTV camera.
Yes.
What are the factors to consider when purchasing a CCTV camera?
Thank you. And key factors to consider is once you have done an audit, you'll be able now to see what kind of camera do I do, because there are also different kinds of camera. We have dome cameras. Dome cameras look like, what can we say, like the C360. The ones you see, the small ones, and many people think that they do view 360.
Yes.
Which is not the case. We also have bullet. Bullet is the one that is quite elongated. We call it a bullet camera. We have PTZ cameras, the ones that rotate, the big ones, like the ones sometimes you see on the road, the big ones, because those ones can rotate 360, they can tilt different angles. So survey is very, very critical when it comes to deciding the type of camera that you will do. The other thing that you also need to do is the brand also. The type, we have different types. We have analog high definition camera. We have IP cameras. Those are two different types. So that will also be critical, depending maybe even on the resolutions you want, because both have different resolutions.
Yes.
The cost that you want to do, because both have different costs. So that's also another critical area. And when doing that, it's also very good to be educated very well so that you can make an informed choice whether to go for analog high definition or you go for an IP system. Basically, the difference is on resolution or the images. IP cameras have better images because they work on internet protocol. So through technology, and because they can be standalone, it has been able to give them very big resolution of several megapixels. But analog high definition, you find that they are maybe limited on resolution.
Yes.
But still, I thank technology, we have been able to get very good images even through the analog high definition cameras. You also need to consider storage capacity.
Yes.
In case of an incident, your business environment or your environment, what kind of storage maybe would you like? Something can happen 6 months down the line, and you are there, then 6 months later you realize something big happened, and if you don't have that capacity, then it's gone.
Yeah.
So it's also very critical. Sometimes people just do CCTV that will record only a week. Then something happens, a week later you want to view, or
you don't have the footage.
Maybe it's a security lapse, or maybe something happened that really needs that footage. So I believe that's a very, very key area, and I want to thank technology, because some of these challenges, through technology, we've been able to overcome them. The other thing, do you need to access that system just in-house or even outside?
Yes.
I've just told you some countries, the government can be able to access those systems, especially public areas like corridors, rift areas, remotely,
Yes.
in case there is a disaster like fire, so that they can see how to approach and how they'll be able to do the evacuation plan or their evacuation process. So you need to consider also you, the owner.
Yes.
For example, if it's a business and something happens, for example, there is an alarm that alerts you something has happened in your premises and you are sleeping, can you be able to view that your premises maybe through the phone,
Yes.
through the laptops? So remote access is very, very critical. Very critical. It's something that you need to know. Scalability of the system. In future, if you want maybe to upgrade your system, is it possible? Or again, now you will start buying afresh the whole system. So these are some of the critical areas that you really need and key areas to consider when you want to purchase a CCTV system. Yes.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kariuki, for taking us through the best camera that you can buy, or the best place that it can be installed for good security enhancement. And this is Goodwill TV Breakfast Show, and what we are discussing today is how CCTV cameras work, and Mr. David Kariuki is here from Security Systems International. He is taking us through this discussion. Now, Mr. Kariuki, we have installed our cameras. We have made sure that we are trying to make the place secure. Now, with all this work, what would you say or term is the main advantage of CCTV cameras, as well as do they have disadvantages?
Definitely, Lenny, everything that has advantages
Yes.
must have, even if it's one disadvantage.
True.
And that's a very good question. And as we started the show, I think advantages of CCTV
Yes.
is evidence. If those two incidences, there were CCTV, it could be much more easier to know what really happened.
True.
But now we have a lapse here.
Yes.
And because we don't have the CCTV maybe in place, now we can't be able to say what happens. So what I can say, one of the key thing about CCTV advantages is evidence.
Yes.
Whether it's through the security agencies, through legal agencies, because sometimes something happens and you go to court and you need to prove that truly
Yes.
that thing happened. And if you have CCTV evidence, it can be accepted as a part of evidence, which will now make things easier for you. And even for the judicial office to know what really happened without depending on human to say what really happened. So when it comes to legal evidence, security evidence, it's a very, very critical thing.
Yes.
Even in your workplaces, when it comes to maybe something happened and you want to prove truly that happened, for example, an employee stole, it will be much more easier now to prove that, yes, this happened, and that's why maybe we are terminating this person or we are dismissing this employee because we have evidence it happened. The other thing is the deters crime. Because Rene, today, if we are here and there is a CCTV in this studio and I want to pick your phone, definitely now, unless I don't care, it will be much more easier to know it's David who carried
my phone.
So it will deter me because I can see the camera is there.
Yes.
It will definitely deter me to want to carry because now when it will be revealed, they'll know definitely it's David who carried that phone. So it's a great deterrent to crime, and that's why in the developed or in the first world, it's mandatory. All government puts a lot of resources to do CCTV because it will even help them and it will help their people to know that they are being watched everywhere.
It's like the Kenyan government started doing. I can see some cameras in our roads.
Yes.
And I think it was a good idea.
And a very good idea.
Yes.
And still it is even today. Yes.
And I think the idea will be carried out in all the government buildings. As you said, it's mandatory in China.
Yes. Yes.
So have we expounded on advantages? Or?
Basically, those are the two main advantages. It can also help you in case of employee productivity.
Yes.
Because you'll be able to watch over your employee, whether you are in the office or outside the office, and be able to see maybe those who are not really up to the task of doing what they are required to do. So another great advantage, especially in businesses, factories, industries, is that it can help you monitor employee productivity. But the advantages are so many, that's why you see in developed world, CCTV is almost mandatory. Yes.
And Mr. Karaoke, because I use, most of the time I use public transport, I find that some of matatus have got, if I'm not wrong, I see like a camera.
Yes.
So, do you want to tell me that they also work in matatus?
Yes, they can work not only in matatus. They can work in even in your personal vehicle. And that's also another thing that developed world has. Because, for example, if there was a traffic case,
yes,
and you want to argue your case, definitely if you have it in your vehicle, you can. And that's why they really advise in developed world, have it, because it will even make easier to prove either you are innocent or you are guilty. The same thing, recently you saw the CS for transport saying public vehicles will be installed systems such that in case of an accident, even the government agencies can be able to know what was happening in that vehicle.
Yes.
And again, that's another critical thing that you get out there in some of these developed worlds, that, for example, it was reported a public vehicle has been hijacked.
Yes.
How do you approach it? You don't know how these people are armed. But if there was a platform that you can log into and be able to see through video what is happening there inside that vehicle, definitely now it will be much more easier to offer the rescue operation. The same, for example, the driver during a hijacking case, which is which has been a very common here, and I want to thank the government has really stamped authority on that area. Nowadays we don't have a lot of challenges, but you see, in case it has happened, some of those systems have even panic buttons.
Yes.
The driver can press, and immediately the system, maybe through the control room, can give a video pop-up that will show something is not right in that. If it's, for example, transport of goods and everything, you'll be able to monitor your vehicles, how they are transporting your goods.
Your goods, yeah.
So you can see now that's another advantage of CCTV. That's why I told you the advantages are so many.
Yes.
We cannot exhaust them. Yes.
Now, you said that anything with advantage must have a disadvantage.
Yes.
What are the disadvantages of CCTV cameras?
Disadvantages are lesser. First and foremost, definitely it infringes on your privacy.
Yes.
Because you are being watched all over. So some people feel my privacy is not really maybe respected. So that's one disadvantage. Sometimes the cost, because a good CCTV system definitely costs better. Because we've seen incidences, especially in our country, whereby people just do CCTV systems.
Yes.
And 5-6 down months, the system has collapsed. Because sometimes the quality of the equipment was not right. So you get a lot of people, when they hear the cost of CCTV, they feel that no, but I have seen or I have heard through social media or social groups that these things are very cheap.
Yes.
but you don't interrogate yourself, why is it cheap?
Yes.
And we have another one, the same system that is a bit pricey.
Yes.
And you know they say cheap is expensive.
Yes, true.
So definitely the cost sometimes you get becomes a disadvantage. So some people feel they don't want to do the right system.
Right.
And they do the system that will not give them the right results. The other thing is if you don't again do the right quality systems, there is possibility of hacking.
Yes.
Some people can intrude into your system. For example, if it's a sensitive area, they can be able to view cameras remotely. So you really need to make sure that whatever you are using,
Yes.
Whatever system you are using, definitely have some of those challenges looked at to. The other concern is that data storage. We were saying maybe we want to view footages that are 6 months old. Data storage is also quite expensive.
Yes.
So you get a lot of people and a lot of installers don't advise customers on some of those things. They'll just come, do your system.
Yes.
Then when there is a problem, you get that you cannot retrieve the data that you wanted to retrieve, which now is a disadvantage to you because it didn't serve the purpose it was supposed to serve.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. This is Goodwill TV Breakfast Show this morning, and our topic of discussion today is how CCTV systems work with with our guest today, who is Mr. David Kariuki from Security Systems International Limited. You can always reach him on that number, on this number on your screen, if you want anything, not only CCTV cameras, any other security system that this company deals in. And you can also either visit Mr. Kariuki at his company that is in Gilgil Road, industrial area, go down number 1. You can also as well call him through that number. Mr. Kariuki, can we now wind up on CCTV cameras or from where you started on a brief summary in case of a viewer who is just joining us right now?
Thank you, Lady, and thank you even for the time. This is a topic that you can even take the whole day here, doing an interview, and maybe not exhaust it. But through the time that we have been here, you can see that this is a critical part of our lives.
Yes.
A very critical part of our lives. And CCTV is something that we really need to consider, even in our homes. Because you never know, sometimes you get an intrusion.
Yes.
Maybe you are not in, you are away, but you cannot prove what really happened.
Yes.
I remember recently I had an incident of a place. Somebody on a Saturday morning, I think the person who intruded had been spying on them and seen that maybe the time they go to church, they come back maybe after 4 or 5 hours.
Yes.
So just on one Saturday day, they decided to break in, and the damage was so big. Especially the psychology one, because some members of that family now even felt that the house is not safe. But luckily, because the estate had public cameras, they were able to see, even though they didn't capture the person who intruded into their house, the vehicle was able to be tracked through the estate cameras.
Yes.
And it was discovered even the number plate was a fake number plate. They were using a number plate of a vehicle of a lorry that is in Mombasa. So you can see the advantages of. So you see now they were able, the police were able now to crack that one quickly, even though they didn't get the right person, but they could see at least the race of the person, and you can see now the advantages of CCTV. If they had the CCTV in their house, definitely now it could have given better results. And that's why I would propose that we take CCTV seriously.
Yes.
And I hope also government encourages businesses, also its own buildings to do that, because the advantages are so many. It will be even a good source of employment, which we are really crying in this country.
Yes.
And it will also help us now to resolve many of the issues that are happening, that sometimes we are just left in the dark without knowing what to do. And my belief is because of technology, we have what is now called artificial intelligence. We have even cameras that can monitor. For example, if you left this phone here and you want to monitor it, we have cameras that can monitor that.
Yes.
If this phone is removed here, it will be able to alert somebody that this has been left. Or if this phone is brought here, or a package is left here, and nothing should be there, it shouldn't be there. It will be able to alert somebody.
Yes.
It is there. We have cameras that can even monitor people fighting, either in public, in workplaces.
Yes.
So you can be able to prevent some
fights.
Yes. Yes. Artificial intelligence is doing a lot of amazing things.
I remember, Mr. David, can you let me cut you short? Upon all this discussion, I have a friend who works in installing cameras. So one time he told me just, huna kibarua leo? Twende. Let's go and do some installations of camera. The client was a Mzungu. So while you are speaking or talking about all this, I'm trying to follow what we used to do with that gentleman who is a friend of mine. I don't know where he is these days. And the word that or the term that I got from the work we were doing, we have installed the cameras, we went to the monitor. Now, he told me, go and terminate. So, I couldn't understand what is to terminate or to such a term. We used a term.
Thank you, Leonard.
Yes.
Maybe from your understanding, you understood it the other way. But when it comes to installing some of these systems,
yes,
when it comes to terminating, it says connecting the wires.
Okay.
Basically, that is what it means.
Terminating
the camera or the sensor is you go and connect the
wires.
That is what he meant.
So he just thought that I'm used to.
Yes.
So he was telling me go and terminate. So I could ask him, what do you mean? So now that you have explained even to our viewer, and remember that last week while Mr. David Kariuki was here, he said that you can also, you as a student who is in engineering course, you can drop your attachment letter to his company at industrial area for consideration. And Mr. Kariuki, you mentioned that the institution must be a bona fide.
Yes, it must be, and the student must have a letter showing the duration they are supposed to be on attachment,
yes,
and also an insurance policy, because he is not an employee of the company, so he will not be covered by the insurance of the company.
I was also concerned. I wanted to explain to our viewer, what is this insurance policy you are talking about?
You know, some of these industries, the possibility of injuries are there, because you use ladders to climb up.
Yes.
Even what you are doing, you can fall down. The cable can even injure you.
Yes.
Because it's a wire also. And so many other small things that can happen. And that's why in our industries, you must have something we call WIBA in insurance, workman's compensation.
Yes.
So that people out there, in case of an injury, they are well covered. Yes.
Yes, and one last question. You have spoken about this insurance policy. Tomorrow is a Tuesday. we normally host a guest who now is called Mr. Mwangi, whom we come here and discuss matters insurance. Now, do cameras have insurance?
Yes, you can insure them. You can insure them. And I think that is a very good area for your guest tomorrow to explore, because you can insure anything.
Yes.
Against theft. Because sometimes people do steal cameras, especially outside there.
Yes.
Against damage, against mains, electricity, surges. In case there is a surge that you can be paid. So definitely you can insure that. And again, is also another great opportunity for people to get economic empowerment through insurance industries.
Yes.
Creation of employment and what have you. So you can see some of these industries, how they interact and how they can really help us in this country.
But that one might be very funny, imagining that a person can steal a CCTV camera.
Yes,
that has an eye to see him.
Yes, it has happened.
Yeah,
it has happened. Not once, not twice. So many incidences, especially outside, that we have really to protect them and put in place gadgets that can make sure you can't remove that camera easily.
So insuring your cameras also is a good advice.
Yes, it's a good advice, and I would urge people to do, because it's a part of your assets.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Kariuki, we are left with a very, very little time. You can just now wind up. Thank
you, Rene, once again for the opportunity. I believe we are not able to exhaust properly what entails this segment of systems.
Yes.
But CCTV is one critical part of systems in security that people should consider. And I want really to thank you for the opportunity that you have given me here.
Welcome.
And as you have said, you can also reach us.
Yes.
We can be able to advise you. We can be able to audit you.
Yes.
And advise you the best system to put. And definitely we can be able to let you know the best brands of cameras to put. The warranties that are given to cameras. And I want to say that once again, security is a necessity, is not a luxury. So people, especially CCTV, take them seriously. From your houses, from your farms. Nowadays, we even have solar cameras that you can just install in your farm. You don't need to wire it. You know what happens, a lot of stealing of our harvest. So you can see now the scope that CCTV can do. And I really hope that people will seriously take CCTV as a part of their day-to-day requirement. Thank you so much. Once again, I want to thank God for the opportunity.
Yes.
And I want to thank the management of this station for even giving me an opportunity to come and exchange, share with our viewers the things that they should do when it comes to consider matters CCTV. Thank you.
Welcome. And I have noticed that Mr. Kariuki has a lot to discuss with us. And it's my sincere hope that next week he will be joining us with more discussion. And this has been your Goodwill TV breakfast show this morning from 6 a.m. We do it daily to 8 a.m. Have yourself a very, very nice day and a day that is secure. Bye-bye for now. My name is Lenny Galele.
Welcome to Security Systems International Limited. We are one of the best alarm system companies in Kenya and East Africa that offers sales, supply and installation of security alarm systems. From Security Systems International Limited, SSIL, we bring to you the anti-theft foggy system. This is one of a kind, for it is ideal for protection against theft and intrusion. The fog system releases in 0.1 seconds and projects security smoke over 6 meters in just 2 seconds. have Foggy 30 and Foggy 50. For more information, call us on 0727 700 939. Security Systems International Limited. Affordable, reliable security partner. Welcome